Marie-France Garon, and we have Heather here, Heather Billing, which is the co-host and also the co-creator of this program. So welcome everyone, and welcome to all our new people, especially. There's a few people that have just started on the program, so welcome. And this is exciting to see that we have new people, and to also hear a little bit later about those that are getting the results on this amazing program. So I will start by explaining just a little bit about the program. For those people that are just watching for the first time, maybe you don't know anything at all about this program. You've been invited here on the Zoom call, and if you're looking at this for the first time, and we started earlier this year on the 8th of January, we started with a small group of people, 16 people we had at the beginning, and we lost in 5 days together 34 kilos, 75 pounds. So does this work? Yes, it does. So let me just tell you a little bit about the program. I will share the screen here. So 5-day Slimdown Kickstart program. We have 5 amazing Modé products that will support your weight loss and help your metabolism and your gut, and of course, the weight loss, of course. We have a full guide, a booklet that you see here on the image, and it's got, I think we've added a couple of pages too recently. So I think it's 33 pages now that we have in this booklet. So it's very, very informative. It's got everything about the product, yes, and about the program. It's got food lists, and it's got a little eating guide, and we talk about the whole program. So all of the information is in that booklet. And how do you get this booklet? Well, first you commit to the program, yes. And maybe you want to send us a message in comments here, or reach out by private message, or let us know that you're ready to start, that you want the information. And of course, you're gonna get your Modé product for the program as well. And then we will invite you to our special Facebook group. And that's where you will find the booklet with all of the information. It's on our separate Facebook group. It's an amazing community that we have with all the people involved with the program. So there's lots of sharing about results and recipes, and lots of great information. Very much a lot of camaraderie between the participants as well. So you're always encouraged and supported through the program. And here are some of the results that you're going to see on our Facebook group. We have Karen that has lost more than 5 kilos now since the beginning on the 8th of January. And so great results. And also Carrie continuing here, we see on the scale 69.6 to 67.6. So that's 2 kilos. She did that in the very first week of the program, but now she's at 64. This last week, she was at 64. So yes, it is not just for 5 days. It's called Kickstart. That's because we kickstart our Slimdown, and of course we continue on later. So we called it like a maintenance, but really it's a continuity of the 5-day Slimdown Kickstart program. So we've decided to change that around and call it Slimdown for Life. So we continue. It's a lifestyle. It's a new way of getting some new habits. And so it's all included there in the program. So we're gonna, today on this call, I want to have a focus on the fasting and explain that a little bit more, because for some people, sometimes when we, and I know we've experienced that, let's say we're talking to some people that haven't heard about fasting, they think we're a little bit weird, or that, it's a funny thing. And for those people, but there's so many benefits. So we want to talk a little bit, have a focus today on the fasting and how amazing this is. And of course, it's great to have people listening, but we'll be able to also share that information with people in the future. So Heather, I will ask you a few questions about fasting. Is that right?
Right.
So Heather, what is intermittent fasting? What is it?
So it is a way of eating and not eating, I guess you could say. So you have a period, you have an eating window, and then you have a period of where that you aren't eating and you're actually fasting. So, and of course it can vary. At the moment, of course, on our program, we're having an eating window of 8 hours and we're fasting for 16. But there's all sorts of combinations that you can actually do. But basically, in the concept, it's a period of eating and then a period of not eating anything. You can have drink, beverages, etc., but you're not actually eating any food.
Okay. So how does intermittent fasting works?
Okay, so it actually works so that when you're actually eating, your metabolism kicks in and, your body does all the things that it normally does. But interestingly enough, when you're actually fasting, you have a different metabolism that kicks in as well, because your body is actually getting the energy from the stored fat that you have on your body. So it's really is quite an interesting way that the body can use the resources that we have stored over a period of time. For anyone that can, feel a little bit extra, just know that is there to give you the energy that you're going to use while you're fasting.
Excellent. So now, what are some of the benefits of intermittent fasting?
Well, so of course we know that it's great for weight loss, which is one of the reasons, obviously, that we've incorporated it in our program. And of course, we've both used it, and Hannah and, different ones I know have used it over the time, and we've experienced that it's great for the weight loss. But there's so many other health benefits as well. Initially, we probably don't realise that there are so many benefits when we're not eating constantly. Because if you can imagine that someone is snacking right up until they go to bed, and then maybe they sleep for 6 to 7 hours, and as immediately they get out of bed, they start eating again. There's such a short window of time where the body isn't actually digesting something. And we know that our health starts in our gut. There's so many studies now showing how much the gut is connected to our immune system, our brain health. So many different things are actually connected to the gut. And so if the primary job of the gut is constantly digesting food, there's so much that doesn't actually get done in the body. And so by actually allowing a longer time where there's no digestion happening, then that frees up a lot of our systems in the body to actually do so many other great things in our body. And so a lot of healing can take place, a lot of repair work can take place. And so, that's why it's so good for our brain health, because of that gut-brain connection. So we might notice that if we've had a lot of foggy thinking in the past, that clears up. We have, our brain is working a lot better. Our memory might actually improve. All these things are great, I think, great benefits. And, we've heard also that if you've got a particular task that you need to do that requires a lot of concentration, if you actually do it while you're fasting, your brain is a lot clearer and you can think a lot better. Another thing that it really helps with is our heart. So it can actually improve our blood pressure. And it is also helping with the resting heart rates, as well as a lot of other heart-related issues. So this is another benefit for people that have those types of health issues. It actually can help with our endurance. So, Steve, you might actually notice now with when you get back into the running that your endurance actually improves as well due to the fasting. So there's been studies done on, young, fit 18-year-old males with heaps of testosterone, of course. But it has shown, yeah, that's right, Steve, that it does actually improve the endurance when they're exercising. So that's another benefit. And so it also can help with people with type 2 diabetes, because it's actually working a lot with, how the body can process glucose and insulin and all those types of things as well. And it can actually reduce insulin resistance. And an interesting one, and I don't know whether you noticed this, Karen, but it can actually help with tissue healing. So if you actually have surgery, due to the fasting, your body can actually heal a lot quicker as well, which I thought was an interesting one as well. So they're just a few of the benefits, Marie-France, but again, it does help a lot with anti-aging. The cells are able to, repair themselves quicker because they've got, more time to do the important things, because of course we know the body prioritizes things. So obviously if there's food to be digested, that's a priority. And the less time that's spent doing that, then it can sort of put those resources to other places in the body. And the healing, people might notice their joint pain reduces, like things like that. So it is an interesting phenomenon, I think.
Wow, so many benefits. It's amazing. I heard that it's going to repair the cells also. So if we understand how amazing that could be, I know some people with serious illness use the intermittent fasting to really rejuvenate the cells, and it's pretty amazing, the results.
Yeah. Just on that point, Marie-France, you just reminded me of something. If you think about how much, or maybe I'll rephrase that, if you think about how bad sugar is for the body,
yeah,
as far as disease goes, so that is another, like when you have a major disease, if you, depleting the body of sugar, but also that's what fasting does as well. Like the whole way that it uses the body's resources. So it's actually releasing less insulin into the system that would actually feed major diseases. So because every time we eat, we release insulin, okay?
Yeah.
So, it is, for people that have disease, it's a really good thing to incorporate into their healing process.
Wow. It's our new way of life. We'll never get off this intermittent fasting for sure. Wow. Now, how does that support weight loss?
Okay, so as I've mentioned, we're actually burning the stored fat for energy on our bodies, so that helps with weight loss. We're actually eating less, of course, as well too, and we're actually eating so much, following our food list. We're actually eating the right ratios of protein and vegetables and that sort of thing. So we're actually getting in the eating window, we're getting the healthy food in, and of course we're not eating as much, and we're saving money because our grocery bill goes down.
Yeah.
But also because the body is actually working so much more efficiently as well. Like we're getting rid of the waste out of our system, we're detoxing the system, and so all of that is actually helping the weight loss. Our bodies will be working more efficiently, not being sluggish and holding on to things. So it's a really great way of actually assisting with the weight loss.
Does intermittent fasting is for everyone?
No, it's not for everyone. And obviously, if you have any concerns when you come across our program, you should speak to your medical professional. It's also not for children or kids under 18. Of course, they're obviously still growing. They need everything. They need a normal program. Also not for anyone that's had any eating disorders as well, because this is something that can trigger that as well. And I think pregnancy and breastfeeding, it's not recommended either. Also, people with type 1 diabetes, you know, really something that you would need to work with your health professional with. I have a fantastic book here in my bookshelf called The Obesity Code, which is written by a Canadian Dr. Murray France, who actually had a diabetes clinic, and he incorporated fasting to get all those patients get rid of their diabetes. So obviously, you know, there's some precautions that you need to take, but there are doctors who are, you know, helping people with all types of diabetes with fasting. So if you're interested in that, it's a great book. And also he has lots of videos on YouTube as well. Dr. Jason Fung, F-U-N-G.
F-U-N-G. Okay. Wow. Thanks for that. Very interesting information. So maybe just in conclusion, Heather, how does that complement our 5-day Slimdown Kickstart program?
Well, I think it's good because one of the things that it does do is it shocks the body as well in a good way.
Yeah.
It gets it out of its comfort zone, if you know what I mean, because we can, you know, in all areas of our life, we can be used to doing things a certain way, and we just get into that pattern and that routine, and that's just the way we do. And if we're in a comfort zone, we're not really improving our situation. And so why it complements the program, I think, is that it switches things up for the body, because it sort of like makes the body rethink. Like if the body's been used to, every morning you're going to get up at 8 o'clock and you're going to have something to eat, and then you're going to, you know, have 3 to 6 meals a day, and you're going to keep eating. And so it sort of gets into a rhythm, because that's, you know, what it's used to. Whereas I think this really complements, because it is a switch. So the body's suddenly going to go, oh, something different's going on here. So I need to actually change things up a bit, because, you know, what you're putting in is changing as well. Of course, we can't not talk about our amazing supplements and what an important part they also play in this whole process, because that is supporting our gut health and helping with the detoxification, helping with our energies. The natural mineral drink, Mineral Essentials or Revitalize, whichever country you're in and whatever product you're taking, is just such a great product to keep you going through that fasting period. So I'm not sure if that answered the question, but
yeah, absolutely. It was so informative. And you know, one other benefit with the fasting, being the person in charge of the meals in our house, I found that you always constantly have to think of what's the next meal. And so I find that with the fasting, then it's, you know, like it's only twice a day. And so you can really have a new little routine that takes place that really keeps you off the always having to make some more plans. And I find it really we don't think about the food all day long. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been really, really informative and great for everyone, and everyone listening here. I'm sure we appreciate all of this amazing information. Heather, thank you so much.
No problem.
Now up to listening to you, beautiful people here. Anybody would like to share their experience with the program, or also we can share if you have faced some challenges also. I think that's important to share everything that's going on the program. So anybody would like to share a little bit about their experience? Okay. Start with Steve. We've heard all the women, and you know, we're so fortunate to have a male here on the call today. Steve.
So I've been on the program now for nearly 4 weeks, I guess. And last week I decided I'd go on to maintenance. I'd sort of I've set my goal. I'm more than halfway there. And I just thought, okay, look, I'll give myself a bit of a break and go on to maintenance.
Okay.
And I think I've probably been a little bit liberal with my maintenance.
Yeah, that's what happens
So
sometimes.
yeah, so it my weight bounced back up a little bit, half a kilo this morning. So it just means I need to reset. So, I'm back on track probably tomorrow.
Okay.
But that's good. I feel fine. I didn't go on to maintenance because I was desperate or anything like that. It was just that I thought, okay, I'll just give myself a break. And so that's what I did, and they were my results. So I just need to be a bit more conscious.
Yeah. And Steve, how much have you lost so far?
About 6 kilos.
Wow,
Wow.
6 kilos. That's amazing for 30
Yeah, it was.
pounds or something like that. This is huge. In 4 weeks?
Yeah. It's and it hasn't often you find when you start programs like this, a lot of the weight comes off early.
Exactly.
Mine's been pretty consistent all the way through, around about 2 kilos a week.
Yeah. And the fact too, it's just the normal. Sometimes you don't know what it might be. Maybe you didn't drink as much water as well or something. But to have a little variation is fine. And to also have a little break from the 5-day Kickstart and go on to more Slimdown for life. It's more a way of life. But yeah, staying on with the food list and with the program. But I know sometimes, you have to have the little extra. We do that. But so long as we get back on track, straight on track and continue on. So that's the key, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. I could, pinpoint pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not going to admit.
Well, it's okay to have the little extra sometimes. Sometimes it's like a reset, and then you get started again, and then you have another drop of weight. It's fine.
That's right. So I'll be back on track now.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Steve. Who's next?
Hello. Yeah, good morning. I am firstly just loving the name Slimdown for Life. I think that's so good because, yes, we all came on board with the whole idea of a kickstart to getting back to what we wanted to have, but it's turned in. So my partner, Farmer Steve, and it has become a lifestyle. So we're very conscious about the times that we are eating and or stop eating from the evening. So it's and what we did last night, we actually made that recipe with the chia seeds and the phyto reds and the Greek yogurt, and oh my goodness, that was beautiful. So thanks for that recipe. So good. But so we're really getting into that intermittent fasting. So it's been it has been life-changing, and definitely because I would always fluctuate, go up, go down with the weight, but now I know the secret. I know how I can manage it, and like Steve was just saying about going up a little bit, and I think that's just with regard to the language that we have for ourselves, that self-talk is so important. And I don't use the word acceptance. I like the self-awareness. I think that's so important. Just having that self-awareness and knowing that it's okay. Like usually on the weekends, we like to have our special trip to our bakery and we might have a chai and coffee, and they usually come out with a pastry. And and knowing it's okay to do that because we want to be living. I think Heather has said that before, that it's not about stop living and being so structured. It's about being able to enjoy your life and but more healthy at the same time.
And also, what you mentioned it about the mindset is not to feel the guilt. When you do enjoy something a little extra, just enjoy the moment, but don't continue to feel guilty, because that's a negative program, and it doesn't help. So just know that you'll get back on track on the next meal and continue on. And that's, yeah. But Karen, you didn't tell us, how are you going now? You've lost 5 kilos?
So it's about 5.5 kilos. So I have had surgery in between. So my the exercise and the steps have not really been happening for me.
Okay.
But I'm just grateful that I've been able to lose a little bit each time, and knowing full well that I haven't been doing, say, that 3 to 4 K walk that I do like to do in the afternoon or a morning.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to touch on, because we've been talking about the diabetes today as well. So I have a close friend, and he's a big man, as tall as he is wide, and so he's had type 2 diabetes for a number of years, and but he also had operations on his legs, so he wasn't able to do a lot of exercise, and he has actually brought down his diabetes through diet. So it's just been amazing. It's actually been publicised. Not too sure, I can't remember the magazine, but they wrote an article on his achievements. So he lost about 30 kilos, and that has totally helped his diabetes.
Yes.
And that was through intermittent fasting. So and just be mindful about what he's eating. He wasn't eating that badly, but he probably wasn't doing the intermittent fasting. And I really believe that played a huge part in him being able to manage that weight and knock down that level of diabetes. So, intermittent fasting. I think it helps on so many levels. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Karen. That's great sharing.
Morning,
yes, we
everybody.
can hear you.
We've just coasted along this week. My total now is 5 kilo.
Good.
I saw a little post from Steve through the week, how he had to introduce some fruit. We've done the same here. We were missing our fruit, and that has helped. As you all know, I've been on the intermittent fasting now for 3.5 years, so it wasn't a shock to my body. I had my biggest weight loss the first week, and then I've it's been pretty slow going.
It's just normal that we have, when we do actually get started, and there's something that people do when they know that they will be starting something on the Monday. Maybe they indulge a little bit on the weekend before, because I'm going to start on Monday. So, and then therefore we have a big weight loss in the first week, of course, like everyone. Like we've seen some 2 kilos and up to 4.6, I think someone lost in the first 5 days, because you change from what you were doing to something new. But I like also the name Slimdown for Life, because it's going to be a new lifestyle, and this is something that we can continue. And everyone that has been on maintenance or Slimdown for Life, they continue to drop some weight. But what if we can do that Slim Down for life, okay? And what if we can just drop like 100 grams, 200 grams, stay the same a couple of days, and another 200 grams, and maybe a total of 1 kilo per week, something like that. After 6, 7, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, we get to our perfect self that we want to be, and we just continue on. That's what we do. Yeah.
Can I just add something just in relation to when our weight goes up slightly?
Yeah.
I think what's great is, possibly in the past when we put on weight, we probably beat ourselves up and we felt bad about it, and all that negative emotion that came with it. the great thing about this program, if we put on a little bit of weight, we've actually got a program to then get back on track. Like it's not forever. Like the thing is that we know what we can do to get back on track. And I think that makes a huge difference to the fact that maybe our weight fluctuates a little bit. We've actually got something to follow. Whereas in the past, we might have, you know, if we put on weight, we might have thought, okay, well, now I'm going to have to do more exercise, or I'm going to have to, you know, not eat anything hardly at all, like really restrict what we eat. Or we've actually got a plan to follow to get us back on track, which I think is the great thing about this. We're not sort of just floundering thinking, oh, well, I've put on weight and that's there to stay now.
Yes. Yeah, we have a solution, and
Yeah.
it's for life.
Well, I've lost 2 kilos, but it's not because I've really focused deeply on the program. It's just that it's just my winter and summer eating, from eating like soups and more of those heavy foods to the, you know, I always eat salad. You know, salads is always my lunchtime, and then I normally have, you know, my heap of vegetables and some protein, and I always take the supplements. So it's sort of like, you know, for years I've been taking those same exact products. So yes, I've lost 2 kilos, but that's just from my winter to summer eating.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. And are you doing also the fasting, Barbara, or?
Yes, because I sort of teach some classes. I sort of like to have something, or even my protein shake, you know, in the morning, because
Yes.
I teach yoga and Pilates. So then I sort of need to have something then. And this morning, I just felt like I needed to have my protein shake just prior to this call, you know. So sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I don't sort of plan on it. It just all depends what sort of happens throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do sort of feel a little bit woozy if I don't have the food.
Yeah. Yeah, you listen to your body, and when you can,
Yeah.
you know, like yesterday I was preparing lunch, and a beautiful salmon lunch, and with the zoodle, which I'll show you on the Facebook group, zucchini noodle, and it was nice. And I sat in front of my plate and I thought, I am not hungry. So I just packed it back and put it in the fridge for later. You know, we have to start listening to our bodies and think, okay, am I hungry, or can I just go a little bit longer? And if you can, you do. And if you can't, you know, you don't. But yeah, listen to your body, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
If you're needing something earlier in the morning, you can sort of sort out your schedule a little bit so you finish eating earlier in the evening. So that gives you the extra time. So then when you get up and have your protein shake, you sort of get more time in that way by finishing the day before a little bit earlier. That's just another idea. So you can work it out with your schedule as well.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for that.
Yeah. I think that we know Carrie does that very well also, because in our booklet we suggest that we start eating at 11 and we try to finish by 7 p.m. But she doesn't do that at all. She totally switches it over. I think she finishes eating at 3 in the afternoon, and then she can have some food earlier in the morning. So it's just a different, and it depends on all our schedule, and also of the time that we're hungry. I am not hungry in the morning, so it's easy for me to push it back, but later in the evening, that's more difficult for me. So, you know, like that schedule works really well for us. Yeah, Anna as well. It's the evening. But yeah, it's okay. We can just, you know, have the little chia pudding or the nice little chocolate pudding that we make also in the early evening, and push the breakfast a little bit later the next day. It's easy. Yeah. Bye. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Heather, for the great information. Nice to see you, Barbara. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next
Bye
time.
now.
Bye.